As of this week, all 11.5 million people living in Haiti no longer have an elected official representing them. The country's last remaining senators completed their terms in office Tuesday. All that remains is an unelected prime minister who has been unable to stop the rampant gang activity that rules the nation. Attempts to hold a general election to replace the rule of the gun with the rule of law have stalled for more than 3 years. I want to bring in Jacqueline Charles. She's a Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald. Jacqueline, what does losing Senate representation actually mean for the people of Haiti? Because there's been turmoil there for months.
There's been turmoil there for years. And in fact, these were just 10 members of the Senate. That was 30 members. And we already did not have a House. And the President, Jovenel Moise, who was assassinated on the 7th of July, 2021, at the time of his death, he was ruling by decree. So this is a country where we have seen that it's been degenerating now on a downward spiral for some time. But today, 37 years after Haitians, voted a new constitution to decide how their country was going to be run as a nation, a post-dictatorship era, the Constitution is basically set aside. They are out of constitutional order. There's not a functioning Supreme Court. There's not an elected mayor. There's not an elected senator or deputy. There's not even an elected president. So today, the only one you have is Ariel Henry, who's an interim prime minister, and he himself was never ratified by law.
That's a long list. So what does that mean for power in Haiti? Who has it? And what is the day-to-day experience of Haitians like in a country with no order?
What it means is that you have a very fragile and potentially explosive situation. You have a government there that doesn't have legitimacy, that's weak. Anybody can come and sort of do a coup, and this is a country that's accustomed to coups. The United States, France, and Canada, and others in the international have been asking for Haitians to come to some sort of broad consensus, some agreement on how this country is going to be governed in order to exit this crisis so that they can take this country to elections. But so far, we haven't seen that kind of a broad, consensus. And as far as what it means for the average Haitian, well, think about this. 11.5 million, almost 12 million people, a police force with just 9,000 active duty police officers. You've got rampant kidnappings, rampant killings. You have gangs that control 2/3 of Port-au-Prince, which is essentially about 4 million people. It's tough. Daily life in this country is very difficult for people because when they step out of their doors, they don't know if they're going to make it back home alive.
You mentioned that possible foreign assistance. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke about what's going on in Haiti during his summit with President Bush and the President of Mexico. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Obviously, this current situation is heart-wrenching, and we need to continue to be there for the people of Haiti. We are working with partners across the Caribbean and indeed with the United States and Mexico to ensure that if the situation starts to deteriorate once again, we will have options.
Jacqueline, what you described sounds like a situation that has already deteriorated. So when Justin Trudeau says deteriorates again, it seems like he might be behind the times. What kind of foreign help could really settle things, or at least change them from the direction they're in right now?
Well, in October, the interim government by Ariel Henry asked the international community to provide some specialized outside force to provide assistance to the police. And at the time that he asked it, the gangs controlled the key fuel terminals. So there was no fuel. Hospitals were shutting down. Cholera resurged because people were drinking contaminated water. Everything was at a standstill. The U.S. supported this. They actually penned a resolution along with Mexico before the UN Security Council. But months later, there's been no movement. The United States has asked Canada to take the lead. We haven't seen that. In fact, today, Canada once again transported armored vehicles for the police that the Haitian government purchased, and they've been stuck in that country for a while. But yes, what we keep seeing is where's the bar? Where's the bar? How bad do things need to get? Today, the international community, including the United States, they have options. But the fear among experts and observers is that things will unravel so fast and so badly that there will be no options in the very thing that the international community has been trying to repeat, which is an outside occupation force, a UN peacekeeping force. They'll be left with no choice but to send it in.
And so the Biden administration has done something, which is to say that it will accept a limited number of migrants from Haiti each month, provided that they have financial assistance or a financial sponsor, I should say, from the U.S. What's the reaction been in Haiti to that?
You know, the reaction is mixed because the reality is, the U.S. Embassy has almost been shut down. People are waiting 2 years minimum in order to get visas renewed, only to be rejected. Family reunification, which this administration announced was to resume, has not resumed. There was a guest worker program. We're hearing that people are being turned down for that. And so, imagine if you're somebody who basically was trying to go through one immigration process and you've been stalled, you can't even get an interview with the U.S. Embassy. And now here's this program, this parole program. And so, you have families in the diaspora. Some people are very happy, but some people are getting phone calls and having to decide what you have to do, because this is a 2-year parole program. People will have work authorizations, but what happens after those 2 years? And what, the criticism inside the country is that, so this is going to be another wave of a brain drain. It's a very complicated situation. I wouldn't want to be in this administration, but what people are calling for is relief. Haitians really, they want to live in their country. They want to raise their children. They want to have a future. They want to have hope. And basically what they're saying to the U.S. and to others is help us find that path.
Jacqueline Charles, thank you so much for helping us understand this. We appreciate it.
Thank you.